Well, in that case, we will move to the next ecosystem. We have Professor Mike, the Executive Director of Stephen Dorfman Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, that will be sharing insight about the world's one of the top ecosystems. It's actually the world's top fourth, and it's no other ecosystem but Los Angeles. While Professor Mike joins, I will, he already did. Hi, Professor Mike. While
Hi,
you
Mahmoud.
prepare your presentation, I want to share very quick insight into the ecosystem. I guess, the ecosystem does not need any introduction, but since you'll be presenting about overall South California, probably a few cities, I'll just share some about the Los Angeles, which is, the entertainment capital of the world, home of Hollywood, and the epicenter of the motion pictures, television, and much more. Aside from entertainment, LA is also home of many different sectors, aerospace, fashion, tourism, technology, making it a resilient and dynamic economy. The Port of Los Angeles is the largest container port in the Western Hemisphere, playing a crucial role in international trade and global economy. LA is home to numerous prestigious institutions, many different universities that are ranked in top 50 in the world, and has more artists, writers, filmmakers, actors, and dancers living and working here than any other city at any time in history. Just like Silicon Valley, areas like Venice and Santa Monica are dubbed Silicon Beach due to the surge of tech startups. And yeah, with no further ado, I will let you share more insight.
Thank you, Mahmoud. And thanks so much to StartupBlink for this opportunity to talk about Southern California, an ecosystem that I'm very passionate about and fortunate to be a part of. When we talk about Southern California, let's just put into perspective that I'm pretty much talking about the areas below the blue line, not just Los Angeles, which is the center of startup activity in Southern California, but this is the way we look at ourselves: the Central Coast, Orange County, San Diego, and the Inland Empire. Cal Lutheran is in Thousand Oaks, California, in Ventura County, which, depending upon who you talk to, is either the northern end of the Los Angeles startup ecosystem, or the end of the Central Coast ecosystem. And I'm also going to be presenting data from this point forward. Most of the slides are from a group called the Alliance for SoCal Innovation, which is an ecosystem of ecosystems. They're a clearinghouse for all of the startup community organizers in Southern California. In 2018, the Alliance had the Boston Consulting Group do a report on all of the ecosystems in Southern California and identified our strengths and weaknesses, where we can grow. It can be a little frustrating that we're number 4 in the world. Los Angeles is number 4 in the world as an ecosystem, yet number 2 in its own state. We feel that we have an ecosystem that is as vibrant and as promising as the Bay Area, and more diverse. We produce a number of technically talented alums from our education system, not just our universities, but also our community colleges, high schools. We even start teaching entrepreneurship as soon as middle school. There's a fair amount of financial capital in Southern California. Surprisingly, the venture capital ecosystem has kind of lagged, and a lot of investment historically came from angel investors and from the private sector. But there's now a venture capital network in Southern California. SoCal is also one of the pioneers of angel investing. Tech Coast Angels, one of the largest angel groups in the country, started in Orange County and now covers most of Southern California, in addition to another group, a group in Pasadena called Pasadena Angels, and a group in San Diego called New Fund, and then there's also a group in Santa Barbara. As far as corporations are concerned, you may have read that lots of big corporations have left Southern California. That's true, but there's still also a significant number of large corporations that call Southern California home. A lot of life science, medical device companies, but we're also known for aerospace and defense companies. SpaceX is based in Southern California. Snap is based in Southern California. Patagonia, which I'm sure you all know, actually is headquartered in Ventura, California, not too far from where I live. But that network of large companies that feed the startup ecosystem are exceptionally important. Some of them run their own incubators and accelerators. The Walt Disney Company, for example, has its own accelerator. Huge research in university system. You've probably never heard of Cal Lutheran, yet we've had a Center for Entrepreneurship for more than 10 years. The most interesting university on this list, I think, is Cal Poly. Every other university on this list does a significant amount of research. Cal Poly is a teach-first university, yet manages to produce an incredible number of startups that have raised an exceptional amount of capital. There are more than 100 universities in Southern California. The 30 at the top very much generate the most of the startups, but by far are not the only sources. As far as infrastructure is concerned, you can find co-working spaces, incubators, and accelerators throughout Southern California. I wanted to highlight some of the spaces that I think are a little unique. They're in the lower right. The LA Clean Tech Incubator is a giant facility that was started by the city of Los Angeles that's a leader in incubating clean tech startups. Fathomworks next to that is a very interesting co-working space and makerspace located at the Port of Hueneme. It's in Ventura County. It's a collaboration of a startup studio called Matter Labs, the United States Navy, and the port. They have a giant makerspace and a really interesting co-working space. The other three, Hub 101, which is Cal Lutheran's co-working space, the Hot House, which is Cal Poly's, and the Cove, which is at UC Irvine, are interesting in that they're university co-working spaces, but they're open to the public and available to the public. There's a huge culture of innovation in Southern California. We're not just about the entertainment industry, but we're also we also celebrate diversity, equity, inclusion in some ways that other ecosystems don't. I would point you to Backstage Capital, a venture capital firm that has been funding founders from underrepresented groups for a long time. And then in addition to Los Angeles, Southern California is home to 3 startup ecosystems ranked in StartupBlink. San Diego's number 22 and Santa Barbara is also number 88. That's us in a nutshell. You're free to reach out to connect to me on LinkedIn and check out some of these organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mike. Really great to hear. I guess we would need a few hours to go through so many things that is happening in the ecosystem. But it's always great to have you and have our audience be able to connect with you if they would be needing any additional information.
Happy to help.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.